Hey everybody. So this particular find that I made may be actually a pretty big deal. There's a lot of stuff in here that I think pretty much confirms some stuff. I have a feeling this one actually may go viral. And I did actually go out and double check to see if it had been written about in R.A. Schwaller-de-Lubic's book, and I couldn't find it in there at all. So let me go ahead and get started. So I decided to go ahead and revisit Solomon's Temple. So I decided to go out and take a look at the specifications, the proportions of it, and so forth. Obviously, I'm on Wikipedia right now, and we come down here. Here is the sketch of Solomon's Temple based on descriptions. Okay, and we're going to open this up. And when you have been doing this kind of stuff like I have now for a while, I mean, when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is the Temple of Luxor. Now, I'm not saying that this Solomon's Temple is the Temple of Luxor. What I'm saying is that the design is the same. Take a look at the building below. So the one below, you're looking at it from an overhead view. This one up here, you're looking at it from a side view. There are some key indicators on here that are important to take a look at. Here's where the Ark of the Covenant is located. It's called the Holy of Holies. Okay. Here's another chamber right here. And I want you to notice this curve that you see moving down here. Well, let me just go ahead and pull up this this diagram for you. I think you're going to be pretty amazed. There's a lot of different areas I can point out to you that pretty much make this thing pretty solid and confirm Solomon's Temple as being a temple representing the design of the human body. So the first thing I wanted to take a look at was just the overall look of this thing, and there are some key characteristics here that you'll see. The Solomon's Temple is concerned from the sacrum to the head, where the Luxor Temple goes all the way down to, as you can see, it goes all the way down to the feet area. And in R.A. Schwaller-de-Lubic's book called The Temple and Man, you will actually see that this is placed correctly, the head is placed correctly. Also notice, too, where this line is that runs across the cheekbone. That's the same line that runs across the actual pyramid when you place the head inside the pyramid as well. But here are some interesting things. So if you take a look at these various chambers in here, this area right here, which is the square that the head fits in, is the same size, as you see right here, as this. This little doorway is what connects the neck to the head, and you'll notice it runs right across that white line right there. And so the specifications of these two areas up in the head area are the same. Now you have another interesting thing that confirms the human body. The Solomon's Temple here has a large chamber, and then it narrows, and then it widens again, and then it narrows again. Well, let's take a look at the human body, because when we take a look at the human body, that wider area is where the rib cage fits. You'll notice that the spinal column moves in, and then you have the pelvis coming back out again. So this hourglass shape that the body creates from the rib cage and the pelvis is exactly what we see here. So these areas from the pineal gland area, where the Holy of Holies is in the Solomon's Temple, this is the Ark of the Covenant located right here. The neck, the doorway is the same. This area contained inside here contains the rib cage. This is for the spinal column. This is for the pelvis. And the sacrum ends right here, and then the bottom part of the pelvis rests in here, just like we would see in a diagram of the Tree of Life, where your root would actually be down here. Now let's take a look over here. Notice the curvature of the floor is the same as the curvature of the spine. This is your Ark of the Covenant right here. And see how this neck moves down and the spine comes down, and here's where your heart is located, where this chamber is. Also notice too that do you see the areas right here where the ceiling is? You see how it's narrow here? So it comes down here, you have it narrow here, and then it widens back up out here. Well, this is exactly what it's doing right here. You have the spinal column coming down, fits underneath this area, and then it widens back out, and then your sacrum ends right here. So from a side view or a frontal view, you get the hourglass shape looking at it from a frontal view, and you get the correct curvature of the spine from a side view, and you get the correct placement of the Ark of the Covenant and the correct placement for this other chamber, which represents the heart. And then the last thing I thought was really interesting is all of these two buildings are, this is concerned from the sacrum up to the pineal gland, because that's your spinal column, right? Although they are concerned with the whole body here. And each one of these, Ari Schwaller de Lubeck's found hieroglyphs that are associated to that particular area of the body. So it's confirmed that this temple of Luxor is talking about the human body. And seeing the what we see here, and this actually mimicking the human body also, especially with the hourglass design and everything. I mean, it's all easily there. This confirms Solomon's temple. As shown, it represents the human body. Now, what I thought was interesting is when you take a look at these things from the side, even though they are not the same building, they look very similar. So when you approach this thing from the bottom, you get the same thing as when you approach this from the bottom, except for this is dealing with the feet because it's a longer building. But the same design, the same larger area in the front and moving down like you see right here is on both of these buildings. So we have a lot of different points that make this confirmation amazing, and I think that this particular discovery should probably go viral. I can't see any flaw that I'm making in my analysis here. It seems like all these points check out quite nicely. And this is called the Holy of Holies. This is also what the ancient Egyptians called it as well. They called the pineal gland area the Holy of Holies. And I checked inside Schwaller de Lubeck's Temple of Man, or Temple in Man, and I looked for Solomon, and I cannot find it. It's not located in there, so and I don't think anybody's run this particular analysis before that I know of. So anyways, this is a big deal. Please share, please hit subscribe if you're new. Got lots of good discoveries coming out all the time. So you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon.